Hey everyone, we are live. I am Vampyreq and today we're gonna be critiquing a 3D animation from Overwatch. It's called Alive and I've pretty much got everything set up already. So what I'll do is I'll just mute my mic and we'll play the video and watch it together.
When I was a girl, I had a fear of spiders. I was told they felt no emotion, that their hearts never beat. But I know the truth.
Human, machine, we are all one within the iris. Before me, I see the future. Humans and Omnics standing together. United by compassion. By common hopes and dreams.
Love. Monarch is in danger! Shoot her on the roof! I repeat, shoot her on the roof!
This is a secure channel. No one's...
Monarch is in danger! Get him out of here!
Identify yourself immediately. All rooftop teams, check and clear. Halo is leaving. I repeat, Halo is leaving. Sir, there's been a breach. We need to leave now. Chariot, this is Team 1. Halo is coming in hot. Over.
Huh?
Such a sweet, foolish girl.
What's that?
Looks like the party is over.
No, no, no! No, 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 no! Why? Why would you do this?
Adieu, chérie. When I was a girl, I had a fear of spiders. I was told they felt no emotion, that their hearts never beat. But I know the truth. At the moment of the kill, they are never more alive.
Overwatch. Yup, so let's start from the beginning. I would say I'm not too big of a fan of this animation shot, just like the soldier one. And wow, I look very orange today, but whatever, let's proceed. So same style of commenting, critiquing. We'll be doing back and forth, frame by frame, a lot of it. So let's just play from the start. Spiders. Do you fear spiders? I like spiders. So the spider here is a black widow. You can tell from it being black. And then there's this like red design over here on the spider. So this is the so-called trademark of black widow. And I would say that the black widow, the model here, looks good. Just that I'm not too sure about the movement of the spider. Let's see here.
I had a fear.
Okay, yeah. So if you look at the spider position, so you have, I don't know which side would you want to call the first. So I'll go by pairing. So you have the first pair over here. Then let's mark another color, second pair. And then I have another color. This is the third pair. What other color do I have? So this is the fourth pair. Normally, from what I know, spiders will move with the second pair first. Sometimes it will go first and second pair together on one side. But in this case, if you look at the spider move, it moves with its first pair first. So the one that the spider chose to move is with this one, the first pair on the left of the spider, which comes across as a little bit strange to me. Like, it makes no sense to extend an already extended leg, right? What you want to do is probably bring the second pair here a little bit forward, so you can bring the rest of the legs forward and then move the whole body forward. But I guess the compensating redeeming factor is this second pair moves as well. So as to what I said earlier, that sometimes spiders move with the first and second pair on the same side usually, but whether it's on a separate side like we see in this shot, that I'm not too sure. I'm not too good with spider movement, because 8 legs is just a nightmare to study, and really I've never studied spiders before. So the most I did was quadruped, which is like I think I studied horses, dogs, cats, but not spiders, because the more legs you have, the more difficult it is to animate, because like legs is just like a huge pain. And normally it goes left right, but which left and which right to go, it's very difficult to, it's a pain to animate really. For ants, I think they move with their middle pair on one side and the front pair of the other side, so it goes together. And then you have the front and rear of the opposing side go together, and then the remaining middle and rear that has not moved. I think that's how ants move, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, you can see that the leg movement is complicated as opposed to humans. We only have left and right, but they have 3 left, 3 right. But the good thing, the so-called easy thing, is they always move in patterns. So if you nail down the first pattern of how an ant starts to walk, you can just cycle the animation by copy pasting the frames in the graph editor and just smooth out the interpolation between the frames. Sometimes the computer, when you copy paste, it will make it a linear key where it snaps, or you do like some weird jerky nonsense. You gotta smooth it out. But overall, good model. I like the spiders, and the thing about spiders is they actually can get trapped in their own web. What they do is they can identify what part of the web is sticky, what part is not. So spiders will walk on the non-sticky part, and that's something about spiders.
I was told they felt no emotion, that their hearts never beat. But I know the truth.
Like this coming in.
Beat. But I know the truth.
Okay, no issues here. Okay, when you look at this shot, we'll go to the crowd later and I'll explain further. So, pointing emphasis. Okay, if you look at this crowd over here, do you think all the crowds are animated? Like individually animated? Or is there some trick behind it? Is every single person here animated individually? Or are there tricks behind this? If you guess there are tricks, you're right. If you say individually, you're also partly right. So in terms of animating crowds, there are a lot of tricks to do. If you have a shot from very far away and you want to simulate medieval war, perhaps, you're gonna have like, I don't know, 10,000 soldiers. You're not going to animate all of it. So in those sort of situations, there are 2 ways of overcoming the difficulty of like having to animate so much. One, you can use a crowd simulator. I'm not too sure how they work exactly, because in my experience as a 3D animator, I've never used crowd animators because it just didn't call for it. Second is you can animate a few guys, maybe 5 of them. If you want more variation, animate up to 10. Then you duplicate the animation across all the models you have in the scene, and then change the timing of them. So maybe you have a guy, let's say he wants to raise his sword. Maybe they're doing a war cry and they raise their sword in the air. You can have them unsheath and raise the hand. Okay, let's say on the 1st minute mark, one guy has completed unsheathing his weapon. Then maybe at the 1 minute mark plus 3 or 4 frames, you have a next batch a few men or soldier finish unsheathing their weapons. So this is the kind of tricks that you can do. So what is very apparent in this Overwatch shot here of the crowd, I would say this guy in the front, his animation is duplicated with this robot. Just look at a fist pump action. Does it look similar? It does look similar, isn't it? It's just that the angling of the robot hand changed a little, and then you have this guy holding the board. which is gonna be the same as this guy holding the board. It's not too apparent in this shot, really. The more apparent one is the upcoming scenes that you see. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. It's not duplicated for the bot holding one. It's not duplicated that way. As I mentioned for the fist pump one. So let's go ahead. So we see that, as I mentioned, the kid put emphasis onto Tracer. That is something different. They should put attention there. This thing, pressing on the device to listen in, is just some Hollywood bullshit, really. Because imagine you're in a mission, a war, tactical situation. Imagine you have to do this every time to communicate, to listen, to talk. There's no sense in doing it. First, you're lifting your arm, your hand from your weapon, assuming you're carrying a two-handed weapon. It leaves you vulnerable. There's no way you can fire a weapon. And normally, in military training, you're taught to do the so-called illogical way. Normally, if you were to reload a two-handed weapon, a rifle, normal people will, let's say that the trigger is here and the supporting the hand grip is on the barrel. Normal people are going to release their supporting arm, drop the magazine with their trigger hand, and then load the magazine here. But real military training teach you to drop your magazine and use your trigger hand to load the next magazine in. Why? So you can actually maintain aim on your enemy, and the moment your weapon is loaded, you can fire immediately. So imagine your trigger hand is reloading, holding the weapon and reloading it. You can't do anything. There is nothing. You can't retaliate. If you want to grab a knife or anything, it's just impossible. So this is like using one arm and crippling yourself. And another situation, I forgot what to say here. Like, oh yes, you already have the audio device in your ear, always on. Wouldn't you adjust the volume such that you can hear it all the time? So why do you have to do this? It just doesn't make sense in reality. So this is just like some Hollywood gimmick. I like the way I assume it's Zenyatta walking out to this gallery, this podium. Okay, just notice the way he walks. It is very controlled, with poise. He's not in a rush. Very stable. So this gives the telling that, again, I assume Zenyatta, he's kind of like a control character. If I were to put an exaggeration, let's go to the extreme, he's a control freak. You can tell a lot by the gait, the walk pattern of a person. Normally someone who walks fast is a bit more aggressive, probably type A personality, usually a go-getter, someone who takes action. Someone who walks like Zenyatta, slow, controlled, poised, they would come across as calm, how do I say it? Would it not kind of like aware, but they give the feel of like being a mastermind, where they know what's going on even though they don't appear like they know. But of course it depends also. Like it gives a very peaceful kind of confidence as opposed to someone who's more aggressive in a walk. If you want to know the difference in walk, you can compare Bush, I don't remember, is it George Bush or Barack Obama, when they walked with the president of Russia, is Vladimir Putin. You would say that Putin walks in a very animated style. You can say that he's like exuding some kind of like beastly animalistic strength, while the US president, they exude a different kind of strength, like control kind of strength. So just find an animation on them walking. I don't remember which president though. I have a suspicion that it is George Bush and Putin, that they were like walking off a helicopter or something like that. I don't remember, but you will see the Russian one there is like walking a lot of torso movement, while the US president walks like with almost no shake to his body. And talking about like walking, I have a very strange walk. My arm swing is very limited. It doesn't go behind my butt. So my arm swing is all toward the front of my body, and it depends on what I'm feeling as well. Most times I will walk control poised manner, but sometimes I do walk a little bit of the beastly animalistic style as well. So I don't know how you're going to observe that. Only people who know me in real life will have the opportunity to observe my walk. So you will see. The thing that I want to draw attention to is my arm swing. As I said, it doesn't go behind my body. And you see this in real life too. It's not common, but it does exist. So it reminds me of the time where I was doing motion capture, and we have this model. Her arm swing is just like mine. It doesn't go beyond her butt, her center line. It doesn't go behind her at all. And when we translate her motion capture data into a model, the walk cycle just looks incredibly eyesore. It's just like an eyesore. And then we had to manually adjust her arm swing to go behind the body so that it looks natural on screen. So this is the thing about animation. What exists in real life, you can try to replicate it on screen, but it may not look good and you have to tweak it. Building anticipation. When you deliver a speech, silence draws attention. Pauses draws attention.
Human, machine, we are all one within the iris.
I would say there's a little bit of a strange delay in a gesture and when he starts the speech. Humans, like he finishes his gesture like humans and machines. I would rather he do like humans and machines. I know my webcam angle is very limited, so it's a little bit difficult for me to gesture as well. So what he does is like humans. I would do humans.
Human, machine, we are all one within the iris.
Yeah, over here we can talk about the crowd duplication thing. So okay, so found one. Just take note of this one and this hand here. This is one example. They are duplicated. How do you know? Just watch. What pattern do they exhibit? So you notice that there is always like this. It's like bump bump, then drop down, bump bump, drop down, bump bump, drop down. There are more. It's just that my screen is a little bit dark right now and I need to change something. Okay. Let's find... I know there's one which is the double pump. The double hand. Ah, there you go. So... Oh crap, I lost track of it. Ah. Okay, there's... Right. There's a guy here doing this. And there's one here. Just watch their movement. I apologize if the full screen thing is disorienting, but I have no choice. Just watch one guy, then watch the other guy. I'm just going to repeat it like 2-3 times more. Yeah, you see they're both the same. There are a few more duplicated ones. I think I spotted like 2 more variations and a few more duplications. So this is just a trick when you're animating crowds. Just duplicate the animation over the different models. But when you're duplicating, it's not easy to duplicate as well. So what happens is when, at least when I was using Maya, I think it was like I don't remember what version it was. You can export the animation out and import into another character, but you must take note the order you select the controls when you're importing or exporting the model. So hence normally we use the hierarchy selector and just select the parent root that will select everything for us. If you were to select from the viewport, maybe you select the right wrist first and the left wrist, and then the right elbow and the left elbow, and eventually you work your way down to select the entire rig and then export the animation out. You must select the controls of the model you want to import to in the right order as well. If you were to select the left wrist, right elbow, left elbow, your animation is going to get screwed up. Like there is no way to save it. Your joints are going to get broken and you have to like redo the whole thing. So duplicating of animation is a good way of cutting time, but it has to be done carefully as well. This is like a backward cut to me, which I don't like. So you see Tracer here has reacted to something. What would she react to? Which is the security, again doing this nonsense move to his ear. So in order for Tracer to react that way, it must have already happened. But in this case we see it happening, which is a backward cut, which I don't like. I would very much have preferred that when we cut into this view, into this scene, the hand is already on the ear. Looking up, humans are just bad at detecting sound upwards, especially if a sound is like behind you, above you, and directed right at your head. Like it's gonna be impossible for you to tell where the sound is coming from. You would think it's like ground level, like level to you, and you'll be looking left, right, and finding nothing, but actually the sound is above you. It happened to me, like almost 20 years ago. Someone was calling my name from above and behind me, and I just couldn't find the person at all. I just didn't know it was coming from my top. I was looking at my level, left, right. I have no idea. I looked like an idiot. I'm not sure if I saw something. Never mind. Yeah, you see the same movement. This one, I think he reacted to the grappling hook way too quick. So this grappling hook is just barely within his central vision. He has definitely seen it in his peripheral vision. Close his eyes, okay, but I would pretty much prefer to have, okay, the grappling hook comes in here at the edge of the screen, good, but I'll prefer the grappling hook to be around here in this frame, and then the next frame will be fine. So it makes more sense that he closes his eye within this frame. And just look, so this is the first, he first reacted to the grappling hook here. This is one frame, two frame, and on the third frame he has already reacted and start turning left. So that's like what, 1 divided by 24. Calculate the time. 0.04 seconds. His reaction time is 0.04 seconds. Hey, it's not that bad. I don't remember my reaction time. I think I tested it, like I trained it to be like 0.01, I think. So I don't remember, but yeah, but on the whole I think like he reacted way too quick over here. It's like he's almost tracing the grappling hook. I like this posing of Widow. And the thing is, when you have someone like looking off to the side, to the corner, especially when the eyes are to the corner, it sort of makes people think situation awareness. I don't know how it works, it just works. And it reflects thought as well. Like, this character obviously is thinking of something just by a simple head tilt. You communicate a lot of things with just one head turn. Ah. One issue, okay, just look at her left leg. Planted on the ground, nice. And as she levels her feet to the ground, you notice that the heel actually slides backward a little. Slides backward, slides backward. It's just a tad. It slides back, not a lot, just a tad. But you can tell it does slide backward. So this is an issue of activating the heel lift. Whoa, what happened? Oh, something wrong with my arm. Is the issue of activating the heel lift and also having to complete main animation. So when it comes to legs, it's always in IK animation. Rarely do people use FK on legs. You got to be insane to actually use FK on legs to animate legs. Or I would dare say 99% of the time you would want to animate legs using IK. Like, I don't see a situation where you want to use FK. It's just way too difficult to animate legs using FK. Unless the character is airborne, then I might see arguments or justification using FK to animate legs. But as I said before, I'm an IK guy. I never switch back to FK. I'm always an IK. So yeah, in IK rigs you have different controls. So you have the main IK. Okay, so this is the feet, and you can take this as the sole of the feet. You have the main movement. You can change it like your You can roll. No, you cannot roll. So yeah, you can only have the main motion like this, and then you have controls. So this is the heal. You have a heal lift. You have like this kind of like within pivot. The word is pivoting, so you can pivot on the left of the foot, right of the foot. You have a toe pivot, and you have a ball pivot where you my finger cannot do it. Just imagine, okay, now this is the sole. How do I show this? So take this as the ball of your toe, and this entire black thing is the toe. So you have a ball pivot, and then you have a toe pivot. So this issue of the heel sliding on the floor is that the heel pivot is activated before the main motion is completed. Just like this, and then now the animator in the next frame has to flatten the feet out. So the heel pivot goes to 0, and then technically the main motion should be completed already, but then there's still a bit of a residual movement which causes the heel to slide here. That motion, if it's FK, okay, it will be believable, but still I would think it's IK. You just take the thing and just turn in circles, solve the issue. FK is just a headache to me. Again. Okay. She has dropped a long ways down. Sure, yeah, she jumped off the roof straight down. No doubt a human can jump straight down in the air. But don't forget, she has wrapped the grappling hook line around her left leg. I don't think she's able to drop this far straight down. She would already have been, her left leg would have pulled her upwards already. And whoa, this is like okay, so you see her dropping down, and all of a sudden, like, it's huge energy that pulled her for whatever reason, which logically is the grappling hook, the wire that is like pulling her back. But I'll say it doesn't make a lot of a sense. But of course the animation is like doing a bit of a cheating over here. Sometimes you just have to cheat the transition. So realistically it doesn't make sense, but in terms of the delivery, it makes sense. And if you see it in real time, it's still okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good in real time. Good attention to the smoke here. Like wires, running wire can deal a lot of damage to you. Like rope burn, slip from a rope and you have your skin torn off your body. Being able to do this, like you jump off a roof, go into upside down position, and then somehow you manage to find an angle which peeks through a corner, like picking through a corner through two holes, like two windows. I would say there must have been intel done beforehand. Either intel is done, like groundwork is already done, or the schematics of building must have been studied in detail to hell in order for you to do this. This is just not some random occurrence, you know, like how do you, like, okay, just imagine yourself, you're a sniper, you're an assassin, you're supposed to kill a guy that is delivering a speech in a street. You're gonna just thing. How are you going to find an angle where you're concealed and still able to maintain a line of sight to the target through buildings? It's going to be very difficult. So intel must have been done beforehand. I shake my head because Widow is a completely stationary target. And Tracer with an automatic weapon missed her completely.
Trying to crash another party, love? Monarch is in danger! Shoot her on the roof! I repeat, shoot her on the roof!
This is
How did Tracer intercept this channel or this frequency?
a secure channel. No one's...
This is a secure channel, yo.
Monarch is in danger! Get him out of here!
Identify yourself immediately.
And before I go to the more salient point, just notice this guy here, right here. Just notice something wrong with his animation. Okay.
This is a secure channel. No one's... 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 This is a secure...
Very jerky movement. And the fact is, I just saw it now. Even the entire crowd behind looks weird as well. So they were still for a moment, and all of a sudden they start moving.
This is a secure channel. No one... This is a secure channel. No one's... This is a secure channel. No one... This is a
Yeah.
secure channel.
They all seem to drop down in one direction at the same time for no
This is a
reason.
secure channel. No. This is a secure channel. No one's... This is a secure channel. No one's...
Now, the second more glaring point, which all that gunshot earlier, no one here has heard it. And Zenyatta is still giving a speech with some, I don't know, maybe people think it's a firework and they just like ignore it, but really all this gunfire, no one on the street has heard it.
Monarch is in danger! Shoot her on the roof! I repeat, shoot her on the roof!
This is a secure channel. No one's...
Monarch is in danger! Get him out of here!
Identify yourself immediately. All rooftop teams.
I like the change in his expression.
Yourself immediately.
Like this, like a very aggressive one, like, hey, you, what the hell?
Immediately.
And it's like, what the hell?
All rooftop
And immediately he changed to a very commanding expression. So expression wise is good.
yourself immediately.
And I would say that the hand coming up to the right ear, this one makes sense. You want to block out the ambient sound, whatever you're hearing, because Zenyatta is still talking. And actually, if you raise the volume of the animation, you can hear Zenyatta talking in the background. So he wants to isolate the sound he's hearing from his right ear to listen to the one coming into the left ear better. This one makes sense. And I would say when he pulls the right hand away from his face, it makes good overlapping
All rooftop
action.
Identify yourself immediately. 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 Oh, immediately. Immediately. Oh, immediately.
But the negative thing is his left, his ring and his pinky didn't move enough. Just it moved too little as he like looks up.
Immediately. Immediately. All immediately. All rooftop teams, check and clear. Halo is leaving. I repeat, Halo is leaving. Sir, there's been a breach. We need to leave now. Chariot, this is Team 1. Halo is coming in hot. Over.
No one hears all this commotion.
Huh?
Huh? Okay, over here. I don't know what side of the camera motion is yawing left and right. Yeah, he's doing this. And there's something you'll notice about Widow's motion here. So essentially she's doing like kind of a backflip. So she's doing a backflip like that. So you expect her motion to be a circular one. Maybe my angling is a little bit too oblique. Her motion should be something like this as she lands. But you notice that is more of something like it goes to the left too much. Just watch here. It's like she goes like this and to the left and then front again. So this happens because maybe there's not enough consideration given to circular motion in all three axes. So motion, we tend in animation, not just animation, in real life we tend to move in arcs, ARCS. Like if I want to slap a person, wow, this is so bad. If I want to slap a person, you notice that my hand will move in an arc. If you're doing an arm swing, your hand will move in an arc. The only exception is if you're doing Wing Chun, the martial art, that they tend to move in very straight line and no arc at all. So what happened here is probably the animator paid attention from the XYZ from the x-axis. So this will be Widow's x-axis. From the x-axis, just imagine that now we're looking at x-axis. Her motion is doing a very nice circle, very nice arc. From the y-axis, from the y-axis, there is not much to see. Probably even that is way too much. So the arc is probably like this. And from the z-axis of Widow, so this we have front, maybe it's not doing a nice arc like this. It probably may be doing let's see, let me imagine it coming from the front, probably doing something like this. Is not a very nice circle. So hence you will see the model shifting left and then right again. It may be amplified by the fact that the camera is doing this yaw nonsense, left right left right left right. Yeah. So again, all this shooting like nobody's hearing. Like really, the people on the ground should be hearing already, but they are not reacting at all. Okay. So over here, I posted the answer already. So what's the animation principle that is being showcased here? This is before the answer is reviewed. So, what animation principle is being showed here? One of the very first, stretch and squash. So you see as Widow jumps off the roof, that's her, can't tell which leg, is that the left leg? Oh, that's the right leg. Okay, so her left leg is the free one, which is in front of her already. The one behind is her right leg. Just notice like how freaking long this her right leg is in comparison to the body. Like wow. Her right leg is like this. Her body is like this. not in full screen. Wow, okay. Yeah. So she's going through the air. Yeah. And over here, look at her left leg. It stretches forward. It's literally stretching. Like, this is her normal leg length. And you can see it's like going forward. Yeah. Whoa, this is ridiculous. Yeah, it's like so long. So stretch to provide anticipation and to create an emphasis to the landing. Yeah. Over here you see the same thing as well. Like, see her leg stretch as she jumps upwards. Turning circles, adding a bit of confusion, dynamism. I like it. Again, Tracer is a total bad shot, man. Her accuracy is like ridiculous. So in this scene, as Tracer falls over, there really is no reason why she will go into a spin. This spin, there's no reason why she should go into it. But if you study the physics of her falling over, why would she go into a spin? The reason is in the next coming scene.
Such a sweet, foolish girl.
This is the reason why she goes into spin on the ground. To make this recall a little more dramatic, throws out a pulse bomb. Widow is making a decision. Should I put focus to the pulse bomb or with Zenyatta? And of the entire animation, I think this part is the most ridiculous. Okay, so Tracer throws the pulse bomb. Where even is Widow? Can we find her location? Okay, I think Widow is here given the explosion that Tracer caused earlier. Yep. Oh, okay. Somehow my computer skipped all these frames. So Widow is like deciding, oh, she see the pulse bomb coming. Again, a backward cut, which I don't really like. So right now, the pulse bomb is far away from Tracer, closer to Widow. Yeah. Widow fires at it. Nice shot. Dead shot. Boom. Pulse bomb explodes maybe 2 meters away from her. And yet, Tracer is the one that takes the brunt of the explosion. Now they all react. Wow. Okay. Just pay. I think I'm going to overrun here. Just pay attention, but I'll just stretch it. The time. I think maybe 20 minutes more. So just pay attention to this entire sequence. Whoops. Like the Legacy of the Void one, there are location changes here. Can you tell? I'll show you guys in a matter of moments. Just watch this thing like maybe 2 times more. There are location changes. again. Right now you guys must be like, what? Did you see the location change? I doubt. I highly doubt, because I was doubting myself if there were location changes as well. So let's take a look. Break it down slowly. Tracer is falling with this trajectory. Yeah. And from here you can see this is Zenyatta, this is Tracer. So in this regard, Zenyatta is to the left of Tracer. Just remember, Zenyatta is to the left of Tracer. And she is falling in this trajectory, yeah? Now look at her body position in relation to Zenyatta. So Zenyatta is somewhere here behind Tracer, and her body has changed to this orientation. Previously, in the previous shot, she was in this trajectory, yeah? Now it has changed to here. Where Zenyatta is kind of like behind her directly instead of to the left. Okay, Widow zooms in. And okay, just take a look. Widow is going to shoot her in the chest. Your frame of reference here, notice, I'm gonna change color. You have this, which is the yawning. I'll just call it the yawning of a shop. Then you have some stuff over here, and then the car is somewhere around here where Zenyatta is. So Widow is aiming at her chest, and from a chest angle, if you were to draw a line to where the bullet will hit, it is probably going to come straight down to somewhere here. No, really. Maybe behind Tracer, somewhere around this vicinity. So I would say it's a long shot away from the car where Zenyatta is. Yeah. So we go forward. Does this one make sense? Okay, so you have the frame of reference, the it's not a yawning, it's not an awning, it's a overhang roof structure. Now Tracer's chest has lifted a little bit, so if Widow were to shoot her, probably the bullet is gonna land here around the vicinity of Zenyatta, but not at him. And if you really draw a line from the barrel, I'll just draw as straight a line as I possibly can. It's going up a little. My mouse is a mouse after all. It's going to go above, behind the car a little. It's close to Zenyatta, but not very close in terms of like shooting snipers. And now all of a sudden her body angle changed again. And right now if you draw a line, like, is in front of Zenyatta. So this is the location change that I managed to spot after watching it for like... Is Mondata? Okay. I mean, I don't know the lore of Overwatch. Okay, Mondata. Good detail to the bullet spin. It's difficult to see the bullet spin as well. but it is spinning. And bullets will spin clockwise to the right and not anti-clockwise because of the rifling of the barrels. They all spin right. So okay, so Mondada gets shot. My question to you is, where did he get shot? Where did Mondada get shot? In the head? The animation shows he got shot in the head, yeah? But where's the bullet hole in the head? Because in the previous scene, it is... Yeah, look at this, it's obvious he got shot in the head, isn't it? Boom, headshot. Boom, headshot. Oh, where's the bullet hole? There's no bullet hole. Huh. The answer is revealed in this shot. Okay, those are the sparks coming out. Notice where he is like exploding from the chest. It is a chest shot, not a head shot. Hence you don't see the bullet hole in the head. And I think maybe it's also due to censorship. Like this is rated teen, right? Overwatch I think is rated teen. Or is it everybody? I'm not too sure. So maybe that's why there's no the showing of a bullet hole in the head. And I like that Mondada is falling backwards with his hand hitting the car seat. When it hits the car seat, naturally it's going to break the backward motion. It's going to break the symmetry. So you will see that his hands, instead of like the left hand simply falling backwards like this, it hits the car seat and then bounces left. So breaking symmetry, making it a little bit more interesting in the scene. But I would say the overlapping action of the hyperflex of the finger is just way too much. Okay, so his finger went from like this until it's like until backwards. Yeah, maybe it's a machine so he can do it. Yeah, it's arguable. And really humans actually can hyperflex their joints a little, but I think it's a little bit too much in this shot. Okay, so in that previous scene, she is looking at Mondada. This machine, I'm not too sure what he's looking at. Looking at this lady, perhaps? If these are the eyes, then he's gonna be looking here. What the heck is this guy looking at? He's looking a little bit upward. I don't know what the heck is he looking at. So it could be that he might have already seen Mondada get shot already, so he's trying to look at what's around it. It's possible. Some people just don't look at the so-called the center of attention. But I think in this scene where you literally see someone die in front of you, your attention should be on that person who just got shot, and not away like in this case. Like really, what is he looking at? The security detail? Maybe the car. I think the car. Again, a little bit of a stretch over here, stretch and squash. This one is not too apparent, but you can see the legs are just like way longer compared to her body. And over here, her body stretches to complete the motion.
Looks like the party is over.
I like the eye dots. The eye dots are just good.
Why? Why would you do this?
Adieu, chérie.
Widow is French, right? I don't know what she said. Juge? No idea. So,
Adieu, 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 chérie.
the vocalization of Tracer just doesn't match here. So I actually stopped at the right part. K. She's literally before she even got grabbed.
Adieu, 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 chérie.
And again. She hasn't even hit the wall and she's already This third one I'm not too sure. Okay, with the sparks, yeah, it makes sense that maybe her equipment being damaged hurt her a little, so she crying out there. Yeah, it makes sense. So the third cry in the air before she hits the ground, I can excuse it a little, but the first two, she cried out before Widow got her. She cried out before she even hit the wall. Doesn't make sense. Again, no idea what Widow said. Juge? Any French? So over here is the problem of animation. So just notice the fold in her clothes over here, or armor, however you want to see it. You see that it kind of like stretches out. It doesn't stretch out in the in the sense of cloth or fabric.
When I was a girl, I had a fear of spiders.
Anything wrong here?
I had a fear. I had a fear of. I had a fear of. I had a fear of.
To me, I would
spiders.
say that
I
the
had a fear. I had a
pivoting of the
fear.
rifle doesn't make
I
sense.
had a fear of. I
If you can pick a rifle up and then you pivot it like this, the rifle is just way too light. And she can do it one hand. Wow.
When I was a girl, I had a fear of spiders.
Maybe the rifle really is
I
that
was
light,
told they
but
fear of
it's not
spider.
believable.
I had a fear
It looks
of
good, but if you
spiders.
analyze it, it doesn't look
I had
believable.
a fear of spider. Girl. I had a fear of when I
Yeah.
was a girl. I had a fear of when I was a girl. I had a fear of spider. When I was a girl, I had a fear of spiders.
But I do like when her right hand grabs the rifle.
I
It
was
increases
told
the
they felt no emotion.
velocity
I
of
was
the
a
pivoting.
girl. I had a fear of spiders. I was told they felt no emotion, that their hearts never beat. But I know the truth. At the moment of the kill, they are never more alive.
So yeah, this is the end of my critic. That's it. Any questions? Mundata, not Zenyatta. Yeah, so I just said Zenyatta because it's the only character that I know. Widow is French. Yep. Can tell from the accent a little. So it seems like there's no incoming questions. So I will say au revoir. Is it au revoir? Au revoir. And good night, everyone. Stay tuned for the next one. The next one, I don't remember what the animation shot is called, but we're approaching the ones that I like a lot. I will tell you. Haha. But in any case, tonight's stream is over. Thanks for sticking by. Subscribe if you would like to see more, and I'll see you guys next time. Vampyreq out.